Hello. We are starting a really long trip right now. We are in Texas and we're driving to the airport so that we can get on a Royal Caribbean cruise tomorrow. That's a 6-day on the Jewel of the Seas. When we get off of the Jewel, we'll drive from Port Canaveral to Fort Lauderdale. We're gonna rent a car. Then the next morning, we're gonna get on the Sky Princess for a week. And I'm so excited. I haven't sailed with Princess in years. I know we had the shutdown, but I think it was a year and a half or even 2 years before that since I sailed. But the Sky Princess came out just before the pandemic and I had a booking on it twice that was canceled. So now we finally get to go and see the ship. That'll be a week, and then we'll come back to Fort Lauderdale and stay there for 2 nights before we get on to the Liberty of the Seas for a shorter 4-night. And we'll actually be going back to Cozumel, just leaving Florida instead of Texas on that route. So the day before Christmas Eve, we'll fly home, and that will be the end of our 3 weeks traveling that begins this afternoon. We're flying United both ways, and we're not flying in first class. So we have someone booked between us today. And then we're staying at the Hilton Garden Inn on Cocoa Beach tonight, and we don't land until 8. So it won't be a long day at the hotel, but I like to be in the port city. I'm a little uncomfortable just arriving at 8 p.m., but having that time this morning to get ready was really needed. John and I both packed everything into one suitcase each and a carry-on. So if you see the same outfits over and over again, that's too bad because we are packing light. Did we need a ticket? It didn't print anything?
No.
So we just pulled into Eco Park at the Houston airport, and there's a flagger gonna tell us where to go. Our flight is boarding in 2 hours. We're gonna go to the United Club, hopefully if we can get our bags checked fast enough. And this is a short 2-hour flight, so we'll see you on the other side in Orlando.
Good.
We made it through security. John has pre-check, or clear, which one?
Global entry, and which gives you pre-check.
So I had to stand in the regular line,
Yeah,
and they have installed
global.
new things that are half the speed, if not less. And I got double security because I have instant Starbucks coffee in my carry-on, and they wanted to swab it. So anyway, we have less than an hour before boarding now. So we're gonna go to the United Club, which is only 2 gates away from our boarding station. It's busy in here as always. It is packed. It's like standing room only. They have pulled pork. Cheers.
Cheers.
The view from this lounge is gonna change. We are at our gate, and boarding was supposed to start about 15 minutes ago, but it has been telling us we're going to land 15 minutes early all along, and that hasn't changed yet. So I'm hoping we're still ahead of schedule. Maybe we have like a tailwind or something, but so far they have not opened the boarding. I was so afraid. When we got home last time, we had an Uber or a Lyft scheduled, and we didn't even have bags checked. But it took so long to get off of the plane and out, and then they didn't even have our flight attendants in town when our plane was supposed to be leaving. So we landed, and our Lyft driver had been waiting like over an hour by the time we got to him. And so to avoid that tonight, I didn't book our driver until an hour after we're supposed to land because we do have checked bags. Hopefully we are able to keep our original reservation because it saves like $50 to do it ahead of time. Anyway, see you in Florida. Now we just hope the person doesn't show up that's supposed to sit here. I'm not sitting there this time. I did it last time. I'm not. Nope. Got a whole, I think, baseball team on the plane. We're supposed to have taken off by now, but they all just decided they're going to take whatever seat they want instead of the one they were assigned. So we're waiting for them to get into the right spots. and we can take off.
Securely fastened. We will be on the ground in less than 15 minutes. Flight attendants prepare the cabin for landing and ticket jump seat. That's what I'm talking about. Stay seated, seatbelts fastened.
We made it to Orlando, and actually we made up all of the time that we had wasted with the Seahawks from Santa Cruz. I guess the whole team and all their parents and everyone was on board, so I probably already put in here the cheer when the pilot told them good luck. So we're gonna go to baggage claim and see you at the hotel.
Doors and hold onto handrails. The doors are now closing. Please stand clear of doors and hold onto handrails. The doors are now closing.
Oh, bags are already going around, I think. And I think I see yours. Okay, 1 out of 2 bags is here. It's John's, but there's his, and our 2 carry-ons, and he's on the lookout for mine. Okay, we don't have a way to measure the weight at home, so I just filled it as much as I could, closed mine, and since everything fit, I figure it must be good. Picked it up and asked John, do you think it's 70 pounds, which is our weight limit on United? He's like, I don't know, it doesn't feel that heavy. I put it on the scale at Houston. It was 116 pounds. And they're like, you're good. No extra charge. But I didn't believe it could even hold that much. So anyway, probably could have used 2 bags. I think it'll be about a 30 to 40 minute ride from the airport once we get in the Uber that should be here, or not the Uber. I don't even use Uber. I don't know why I mention it repeatedly, but it's gonna be almost 10 by the time we get there. I have this like sneaking, not suspicion, hope, sneaky hope that Dawn is going to be on the Sky Princess with us. And I'm kind of watching for clues from what he posts, but wouldn't that be awesome if we just happen to be on the same cruise with him for a second time and we get to meet up and say hi. There's my 116 pounds of clothing, packing light. Looking at this sign that says ride out pickup located curbside 20 to 25. We scheduled our guy to pick us up at 20. Taxis are down on the 1st floor and we're on level 2 right now. So I'm thinking we stay up here and then our Lyft will come here because I know they have a rivalry with taxis. So John's going to ask someone before we go the wrong direction. I'll just follow him and we'll see. There's baggage claim. We're on the 2nd floor. And our ride up Lyft says to come outside of door 20.
I like the chairs that are just casually sitting here. Bolted in place.
We're waiting for our driver, who's going to be in a 2022 Mitsubishi. And I thought Mitsubishi went out of business with Saturn like a long time ago. So I don't know how they're making cars. But anyway, this, I don't know what kind of sport ball they were playing, but it's football, softball, something, Santa Cruz, California. And
Football.
okay, football.
The pigskin kind.
So the whole team and everyone was on our plane, and the seat between us, we knew it was occupied, but it was not. Nobody was in it until someone came over the PA system to tell everyone, sit in your assigned seat. Like,
which then caused half the kids to stand up.
That's when we found out none of them, not a single one, was in the spot they were supposed to be.
Instead of saying, sit down in any available seat, we need to push back. Instead, they said everyone should be in their assigned seat.
You don't tell people on a plane to take any seat. The reason they made the PA announcement is that people outside of the group that had no seating, and the kids are all sitting there acting like they don't have any reason to get up. That's why everyone had to be lifted and moved. But anyway, the kid between us had already settled in somewhere far back and was arguing with people about whether he had a worse problem than they did, and he gets motion sickness, so he needs a window. So he just took the window seat from someone else. The one between us was the last kid to find a seat. And then as soon as the plane landed, I mean, he didn't say anything the whole flight. He just sat there with his head down. And then as soon as the plane landed, he stood up, looked back at his teammates and said, all of you need to sit in your goddamn assigned seats next time. And he said it like 4 times. I'm like, this is a 10-year-old, I think. And they all were cussing. Anyway. Just met some people on the elevator that are going to the Disney Dream tomorrow. And we're in 616. See what the view looks like tomorrow, but I can kind of see the waves breaking. We're in our room. I wish I could show you the view. I wish I could see the view, but tomorrow morning we'll have something to look at when I wake up. This hotel is right on the beach and our balcony looks down over the pool, which has several people in it. This hotel is completely sold out tonight. The front desk people, neither one of them acknowledged us walking in. I said hi to them and no one responded. They just looked at me. And then we were looking, not sure where to go, and 2 other guests walked up and said, are you looking for the elevators? Here's where you go. Are you going on a cruise tomorrow? They were so much more friendly and welcoming than the staff here. Like I said, it's sold out, but I booked this weeks ago and it was one of the best prices in the area if you wanted to be near the cruise port and not in Orlando right by the airport. Just looking at the options for transfers, I was not comfortable with getting picked up by a hotel transfer bus at like 9:30 tomorrow because I want to be at the pier around 10. So it was worth coming here, but I just feel like this hotel is very underwhelming. There is a Hampton Inn sign on the desk that has a QR code, and we wanted to see what food was available. So I follow the link, and this QR code opens the Marriott Hotel's website for their hotel next door. So Hilton is linking people to Marriott. I'm a Marriott member. If I knew that Hilton was going to defer to Marriott to give good service, then I would have booked a room with them. Anyway, that's very odd because I don't believe the 2 companies are linked at all. So we found a Pizza Hut up the road, like less than a mile, and ordered from there. I don't know if I mentioned it in our last video, but in Galveston I tried to order and they charged $500 on my account. It was like a $40 order and they charged it 11 times. Well, it was not accepting. So we both have to take some fault here. Pizza Hut for saying the card was not processing and processing it 11 times. Granted, it took 2 days and I got the money back, but still, when you're going on a cruise, if you're ordering a dinner on the same card that you are paying for your onboard account, and like a sudden $500-600 charge gets processed, that could be scary for some people. They were trying again, and the reason is because they have $12.99 stuffed crust or $12 stuffed crust. I worked at Pizza Hut for 7 years and I know that was the price of stuffed crust over 15 years ago. We're getting a pepperoni stuffed crust, a couple of wings, and then John brought his Coke Zero from the plane. I don't know if you can see my lip right here, or if you saw my video about Nachi Kokum and what I did there, but I am not fully healed, so I still have a red spot, and hopefully by our first beach day I'll no longer have my hit lip, as John likes to call it. We'll show you when our dinner gets here. It is 10:25, and we, I think, have a boarding time around 11 tomorrow. Came from Texas today with our 2 bottles of wine for the cruise.
So these are newspaper end roll, whatever we call them, the end of the paper. So they're very, very tough, thick cardboard in a nice little tube. I'm looking for the end of this thing. I guess I did it too well, didn't I?
You almost brought your pocket knife, which would have helped you open that, but we found out you can't bring pocket knives.
Right.
So this is because we had to fly today. He wanted to protect the...
Well, yeah, I started to just put them in the bag, and then I kind of noticed that these tubes were perfect height for a bottle of wine. So
let's see you put it back in there and show how it, like, is there any room around it?
no, it's absolutely...
Wow. I was afraid that it would be damaged.
It won't. I mean, it doesn't even drop because there's air escaping.
Well, that was perfect. And they arrived in great shape, except we don't think that will fly very well if we try to take it through security for the cruise. So we're gonna unpack them and then keep the tubes for
Future use.
Yeah. This was an incredibly fast pizza delivery. I think we ordered like 15 minutes ago. Here are the wings, buffalo medium, and our stuffed crust. Yummy! So we're going to relax, maybe watch something, and see you in the morning. Good morning. It is 9:45 on cruise day, our first cruise day, and it's warm and gorgeous out. So checkout at this hotel is not until 11, which is the same time we're supposed to start our embarkation process. And they keep sending me messages saying that we're embarking at Pier 5 instead of 1. I don't know why that's that big of an issue. And the piers I've gone to in like California and Canada, they're all right next to each other. So I'm thinking we have to drive to another location for this one. We'll find out. But anyway, I can't see the ships from our hotel, so I'll show you when we get there. All right, look how beautiful this day is. It's gotta be like 80 at least. It's just about 11, so we're gonna get in, catch a lift over to Terminal 5, and I'll show you once we get through the process and are on board Jewel of the Seas. See you there. We're gonna get to our appointment like half an hour late, so hopefully we'll just walk right on. We found a couple chairs here outside of the next cruise. Hi!